Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have studied about the classification of the crops on the basis of the season. Like we have done the classification of the crop on the basis of the season, Kharif crop and Rabi crop. Kharif crop, that is grown in the monsoon season or the rainy season, and the Rabi crop, that is grown in the winter season. I am just going to summarize in 1 minute about this classification of the crop. Rainy season, that is the paddy, for example, and for the Rabi crop, that is wheat and gram. The other classification we have done for the crops on the basis of their purpose. So under this classification we are under three categories: food crop, subsistence crop and cash crop. So if we are talking about the food crop, the crop that is grown for the food purpose only, it is known as a food crop, like wheat, rice and gram, soybean. So all such kind of the crops are known as a food crop. And the second type of the category, that is a subsistence crop. This means if the farmer is growing the crop to fulfill the needs of his family, so such kind of the crops are known as subsistence crop. Like if he is growing any kind of the crop, like he is growing wheat to fulfill the need of the family, so that is wheat is a subsistence crop. The next type of the crop category is known as a cash crop. Means if we are growing for the crops for the profit purpose, like tea, coffee. So such kind of the crops are known as cash crops, right? So these were the classification of the crops on the basis of the seasons and the basis of their purpose. Now let's start with another topic that is a very important topic of this chapter. It is known as the techniques involved in crop production and management. Techniques involved in the crop production and management. So I am giving you the list of the categories, list of the techniques. First, the techniques that are involved in the crop production and the management is plowing and leveling. Second is selection and sowing of seeds. Third is addition of manure and fertilizers. Next one is irrigation. Next is protection of crops from pests and weeds. Another one is harvesting, threshing and winnowing. And storage. So these are the 7 techniques that are involved in the crop production and in management. I am going to repeat these techniques: plowing and leveling. Second one is selection and the sowing of the seeds. Third one is addition of manures and fertilizers. Fourth one is irrigation. Next is protection of the crop from the pests and weeds. Next is harvesting, threshing and winnowing, and the next is storage. If you are very confused, don't worry about it. We are just going to explain it one by one. So let's start with the students' first technique, the first step which we have to do in the crop production and management. Let's start with the one. So our first step, it is the plowing and leveling. So students, if we have to grow any kind of the plant, the very important thing is our soil. Do you know why? Because if we have to grow any kind of the plants, our plants, when they are growing, their growth depend upon the health of the soil. They are taking their nutrition, they are deriving water from the soil. So very important thing in the first step is we have to prepare the soil. So now the question is how we have to prepare our soil. So when we have to prepare our soil, the first thing we have to do the plowing. So here I want to discuss here what is meant by the term plowing. The plowing is basically the loosening and the turning of the soil. So plowing is basically the loosening and turning of soil. So loosening and the turning of the soil, it is done by a proper instrument. That instrument is known as plow. First of all, in the earlier times when the farmers were using the plow, it was a wooden plow. But now that wooden plow is replaced by an iron plow. That wooden plate is now replaced by the iron plow. If that plow is pulled by either manually, they are either pulled by the manually or by using the kettle or by using tractors. So this plow is now pulled by the kettle or by tractor. This kettle, if we are pulling the plow by the kettle, it is not that much expensive, but it is taking a lot of time. So it is taking a lot of time. But if we are using if we are pulling the plow by the tractor, it will save a lot of time and the labors for the farmer. Although it is expensive, but it is saving time and it is saving the labor. So now I just want to tell you what is the advantage of doing the plowing. What is the advantage of plowing? First is deep penetration of roots. Deep penetration of roots in soil. So if we are doing the plowing, the roots will be deeply penetrated into the soil and they will get all the nutrients of the soil, and that will be better for the growth of the root. Second is better mixing of organic matter and fertilizers into soil. So if we are doing the plowing, the organic matter and the fertilizer, they will get better mixed, because if we are doing the loosening and the turning of the soil, they will be better mixed in the soil. Third one is uprooting of the weeds. We all know by the weeds. Weeds are the undesirable plants that compete with the plants for the food space and light. And if we are doing the plowing process, they will be automatically uprooted. We don't have to remove the weeds. They will be automatically uprooted. So that will be better for us. The next is better growth of the earthworms. And better decomposition of soil. Better decomposition of soil, and this will enhance the soil fertility. Next, if we are doing the plowing, there will be better drainage of the soil. And the next is better aeration of the soil. So if we are doing the better plowing, we are doing the better aeration of the soil will be better, and root will be breathing better. They will get enough oxygen to survive. So I am just repeating this advantage. First is the deep penetration of the root into the soil. It will help in the achievement of the nutrients from the soil that will help in the better growth of the plants and the crops. Next is the organic matter, and the fertilizers will be mixed better with the soil. It will increase the soil fertility. Next, uprooting of the weed itself. Next, better growth of the earthworms and the better decomposition of the soil. It means if the earthworms are growing better, then what will happen? The soil fertility will be enhanced automatically. Next is the soil drainage will be better because the soil will be better dug. Next is the better aeration of the soil. If the soil is it is aerated in the better way, the roots will get the enough supply of the oxygen to breathe out. So this were the advantage of the plowing. So our next is leveling. Leveling means we have to level these crumbled soil. Suppose if we are doing the plowing of the soil will be have the crumbled lumps. So leveling means we have to use a leveler, and we have to equal the soil crumbles. It will be used. It is used in this leveling process. Now, thank you students. I hope you are clear with the plowing and the leveling process. Thank you.